Okay. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Executive Board meeting, and also welcome to the member of the public who are joining us in this virtual meeting. This meeting has been held virtually in accordance to the Part 2 of the Local Authority and Police Crime Commissioner Flexibility of Local Government and Police Crime Regulation 2020. In summary, the regulation were brought in a response to the coronavirus epidemic. They removed the requirement for members to physical present in the room. They allow us to debate, participate, vote through remote videos, conferencing while observing the social distancing measure. So I like to have a face-to-face meeting, but that is a government legislation, and I think while social distancing going on, we can meet in present. Can I ask all the member and officer to observe the following principle? Please mute your microphone and also turn off your video at all time, unless I have called you to speak. Remember to mute your microphone and turn off your video again when you have finished. This is going to be a two-part meeting. First part, I think when it's finished, I'll probably give you 5-minute break. And then you go on second part of a SM team, part 2 to participate in second part of the meeting. Okay. I didn't got any apologies. Welcome to Julie Gunn. This is our first meeting. Welcome on the board, Julie. I think Councillor Maureen Beardson decided to not retire, but I think decided to not on the front bench because of her health and well-being. I think she done a wonderful job for many number of years, 37 years in this council, and she have been holding all the very important position in this council. And now she was part of the Children's Services, Education and Youth Services. We are going to miss her because she has her own style to make the contribution on executive board, but she's still here as the assistant executive member, and she had made this decision for herself because of her health and well-being. I thank her once again for all the contributions she has made to this council for 37 years. But as I said, she's still here, and she will still do the same thing what she had been doing for many number of years. Right. Minute of the previous meeting, item 2. Can I move this correct record?
Second that.
Okay. Any matter arising from those minutes? John? Is John Slater there? No? So everybody happy with those minutes? Yes.
Yep.
Item 3, declaration of interest. Anybody has to declare anything? No? Can I ask all the executive members to confirm that you have considered and understood any quality impact assessment associated with the report on this agenda ahead of making any decision?
I confirm.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Item 5 is public forum. I have no question. Item 6 is non-executive member. I have no questions. Item 7 is youth MP update. So can I ask the youth MP to give the update, please?
Yeah. Yeah. As a forum, can I take this opportunity to thank Councillor Maureen Bateson for all her support over the years with the Black Women Darwin Youth Forum and YPS. She's ensured that our voices have been heard and acted upon. We wish her well. We look forward to working closely with Councillor Julie Gunn. Over the past few months, we've not been able to get together as a forum much. However, we've been discussing and consulting through web calls. but as individuals, I can speak for all of us and say that we've all somehow and somewhat made a difference or helped in the community at some point. It's been difficult and tested all our patience staying at home and not being able to see our friends since recently, but by keeping in touch, we've done okay, I think, and really come together. We identified a number of elderly people living alone over the age of 80 in my mum's GP practice and got in touch with them by ringing them or asking a few questions, like if they were coping on their own or did they need any help. And in my local area, I've been distributing little handmade food parcels to some of the NHS workers and my mum's colleagues. I've helped with the elderly, taking shopping lists and going to the local Tesco and then delivered it all at their door. I left a receipt and change in the envelope for them to pick up with their shopping bag. We've been in regular contact with Liz, who keeps us updated through phone calls, WhatsApp and video chats and meetings. We've recently been involved in consultation regarding the Be Yourself website, aimed at 8 to 12 years, which is going to be a great resource for them. We also, as youth MPs, asked Liz if we could extend our positions. I know Liz has worked hard behind the scenes gathering information from other local authorities regarding their stance of a 2-year period. Many already do this prior to COVID-19. Liz put a business case to a manager and head of service, and it has been agreed that for us we would have a 2-year election period. This is fantastic news to us, and we felt that just as our first exec board and we're meeting with professionals regarding our campaign issues, it quickly came to a halt due to this horrific pandemic. So now we feel we have time to implement our campaigns and make a lasting impact to the lives of children, young people and adults in Blackburn with Darwen. I would also like to take this opportunity to ask our new exec board member for Children's Services, Julie Gunn, if she would like to participate in one of our forum meetings soon where we can discuss our campaign issues.
Okay. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Over the past 10 weeks, the Youth Forum has been producing a range of material for young people during the lockdown, such as weekly blogs focusing on important topics such as the importance of maintaining good mental well-being, now to stay consistent, and the importance of following lockdown guidelines and advice, in particular social distancing and washing hands. Through this, we have received positive feedback from young people across the borough, and we are planning on continuing with these posts. I myself have also been working on producing a mental health comic, which is almost completed and printed. As I mentioned in the past meeting, this will be distributed amongst certain agencies to promote positive mental well-being and offer advice to anyone needing it. This month, I've also been offered to be part of a judging panel on BBC Radio Lancashire for the Great Big Pan Challenge that is taking place this month. Also this week, I and my fellow counterparts also voiced our thoughts on an extension to our time as youth MPs for the following 12 months, as we have missed out on many months of exciting projects and developments that we had planned. Through this extension, we have the flexibility and time to bring our campaign ideas to life. With this, there are many benefits, such as savings from cost of the election, which will be extremely beneficial in producing more projects and ideas. This also opens up many different avenues in trying to gain more members in the Youth Forum and engage younger people to be more involved and engaged in the local community.
Thank you very much. Anybody has any question and comment for our youth MPs?
Hi, I've got an update. Hello,
Right.
I'm Khalid Omar, Deputy Youth MP. This past 8 weeks has been a very hard time for most people, maybe because of the economic disadvantage or struggling with isolation and education. But we came together as a community and as a constituency to help one another, and now we are very close to defeating this disease. Even though we are socially distancing, we cannot see each other to work on our projects face to face. We were able to go to meetings through the internet, which was amazing. We are also helping keep the younger generations of Blackburn with Darwen informed with weekly blogs that we are writing with the help of Liz. I've been helping with the vulnerable in these hard times by working with the local takeaways and restaurants and giving food provided by them to the homeless in our town. I've also been talking to young people through email and phone so I can listen to their views and what they would like to change about this town to benefit them. Hopefully in the next month and the coming years afterwards, that I would like to focus on working with the police and the local constabulary to bring more awareness to forced and arranged marriages, especially in the Eastern Asian community within Blackburn and Darwin. I also, as an African British, would like to thank the council for standing beside us in this very difficult time. We are trying to pursue justice for wrongful discrimination and brutality from the police we face in many different countries. Thank you very much, and Black Lives Matter.
Thank you very much. Thank you, all the youth MPs. Anybody has any comment, questions?
Chair, sorry, perhaps if Julie is the exec member.
Thank you, Damien. Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you for that really warm welcome, Zahra Khalid and Mohammed. It's really good that you're getting another year to be able to pursue your aims and ambitions and the achievements you're hoping to reach, and I'm sure that you will reach. So thank you for your very warm welcome, and thank you for the invitation to the forum. I'd love to attend. It's been lovely to hear of all the work that you're continuing to do, but also in terms of supporting our wider community. So thank you for your warm welcome, and the very best of luck for your extended roles and year as Youth MP and Deputy Youth MP, and I'm really looking forward to working with you. I echo entirely your sentiments about Councillor Maureen Bateson. I think she's an amazing contribution to our council. I'm so lucky to have her still as my assistant, and offering her support and knowledge and advice that she's accumulated over the years. So I'm really thrilled that she's there with me, side by side actually, and very best of luck to the rest, to all of you for the rest of your duration as Youth MP and Deputy Youth MPs. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Thank you very much. Anybody else put their hands up?
Chair, can I speak, Chair?
Yeah. Is there a system there where you can put the hands up?
Yes, a queue. No, it's a queue in the chat box.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, thanks, Chair. It was just to similar comments to Julie in terms of the 2-year term. I think it's absolutely right that you should have 2 years. And to be honest, I've always said that the youth MPs and deputies should have 2 years anyway, because often by the time you're getting into the swing of a year, you have to finish. So I absolutely endorse that, and I hope maybe if it works well, there's a change to the pattern going forward in the long run, and maybe youth MPs can have 2 years. The only other comment was, I don't know, maybe is this the first exec board that the MP and deputies have been at? It's so long since we had an exec board meeting because of coronavirus. I'm not sure whether you've attended before, so it's good to sort of see you and welcome. Thanks, Chair.
We've been to one. This is our second one.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Anybody else?
Yes, Chair. It's Kessa here.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to congratulate all the youth MPs. I think they're doing some fantastic job in the current circumstances where we're all facing the coronavirus and unprecedented times. And the work that you guys are doing, with helping the vulnerable and those are the needy people, it really goes out, hats off to you guys, because all communities have come together, and it's a real challenge for us all, and we really look forward to seeing you guys face to face in the future and carrying on that good work. So congratulations and well done. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Kasser. Anybody else? Thanks, all the youth MP. I think you are doing a great job since you come on the board, and I think I'm very pleased your term is extended. And I think during this difficult time of COVID-19, I think all the young people and all the community in Blackburn and Darwin, I think you guys done a fantastic job pulling together and helping the most vulnerable people in our community. And also, I think you have our fantastic workforce here in Blackburn and Darwin. They done an outstanding job. Our health hub continued to provide vital lifeline to our residents. As for the 8th of June, we had received 3,459 contacts, including 1,744 from our residents who live alone. Our helpline has also received over 6,000 calls from businesses. And I think we issue businesses grant to approximately maybe £37 million. And I think credit to Finance Department, I think they work 6 days a week to make sure all the businesses are fully supported and they will be able to get the money which they're entitled for. So I think all in all, I think the council, including Environment Services, Finance Department, our PR department, our Public Health Department, I think they all gel together and they've done a wonderful job. Saeed Usman and a number of other officers who are on front line, our chief executive, they've done a fantastic job, and I think credit to all our staff and all the members of the community. I think they've done a fantastic job pulling together and providing the vital services to our community in this difficult time. So my sincere thanks to all of you who have been involved in this difficult time to make sure our vulnerable people are really taken care of it. Thank you very much. So can I move on to executive member report? Just I would like to give the little bit update which I just received from our chief executive, our Ministry of Housing and the local government, community and local government made the decision about the National Health Service Test and Trace Services funding, which they were saying in £300 million for the whole country. But today they make the announcement we will be able to get 1.3 million for Blackburn and Darwin to recruit more staff and have a proper plan in place to make sure we are going to deliver the test and trace. So I think it's going to be a big challenge, but I think Dominic Harrison and Damien Talbot, they both will work together to make sure we have a proper team. We need to recruit some people to make sure we are going to deliver test and tracing, which is going to be difficult, but I'm sure that our local authority will be able to manage it and they will deliver to try to control this epidemic. I don't have anything else to add. Any question, comment?
Chair, can I just?
Yes.
Thanks, Chair. Just on that point about the funding, yes, it's a very welcome announcement to have that funding. As Dominic has pointed out to me, though, obviously it doesn't kind of match up to the amount that we've lost in public health funding over the last 5 years. So, and I think the other issue as well is we're not clear over what period we've got that funding. So I think we're still seeking some more clarity, but it is certainly welcome funding. It's vitally important at this time. Thanks, Chair.
You are quite right, Councillor Tablet. I think this is the real issue. We lost substantial amount of funding in the last 10 years, and this pandemic, I think, is really taken a lot of funding away from us because we don't get any income, even your leisure services or the parking or etc. etc. So I think government did give us some money, but I hope they will be able to look at it, what are our costs and how we are going to manage in the future. I have written 2 letters, one to Prime Minister, one to Honourable Robert Jenrick, outlining our financial concern and seeking their assurance that government will be able to reimburse council for the cost of associated with this crisis. So I hope they will be able to do what they promised us in the beginning of this epidemic. And I think we are not the only one. I think many number of local authority up, down the country, they are feeling same way. And I think our local government association is doing everything possible to put our case forward. So I think we wait and see. I think, as you said, Damien, that we lost substantial amount of money in every department for the last 10 years. And now under this difficult circumstances, we are still managing, but I think it's getting very, very difficult unless government is trying to bail out all the local authority cost and what they lost in income. So I think the real issue for us, a real issue for all the local authority in the country. Okay. Can I move on to adult social care and prevention?
Nothing to report, Chair.
Thank you. Can I move on to children, young people and education fostering report, Q3? Julie?
Thank you, Chair. Before moving that report, I just wondered whether I could just offer you some a bit of an update on how we're doing with schools and education and the changing environment that we find ourselves in, just to reassure members really that from day one we've been working with public health, and every decision that we've been taking has been taken along with consultation with senior leadership teams in schools, with unions, and of course with public health, and the underlying priority is always the health issue. So we had, as you probably knew, intended to extend opening of schools for nursery and reception on Monday. That obviously with the evidence that came to light on very late on Friday afternoon, early evening, that had to be postponed. That decision was disseminated as soon as was possible, and I'd like to thank the teachers, the heads of schools, and the obviously the education department here at the council for all their hard work in ensuring that that message was sent out, and all the work and preparations that schools had gone to in the meantime in anticipating extending opening on the 8th of June has not gone unnoticed. There was a lot of work and a lot of soul searching about that decision, but the bottom line is we have to keep children safe, we have to keep teachers safe, and by extension that keeps the whole population safe of course. So that decision seems to be vindicated when the government changed their guidance on Tuesday. So we are continuing to work with schools, and I just wanted to offer reassurance really that the work and support and advice that we've had from the public health colleagues has been absolutely amazing, and it really valued and appreciated. So with that, I'll move the report and take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Any question to Julie on this report? No? All in favor of that report? Thank you. School holiday pattern, that's I8.3.
Thank you, Chair. Can I just, for clarity, was that moving both reports, fostering and adoption report then?
Yeah, you can move both of them.
Okay, both moved, right? Thanks, Chair.
Save your time.
Okay, so I move the third report then, which is the school holiday pattern. Again, this is something we always follow. We always try and align our school holidays with Lancashire for obvious reasons. Really, there's families who have children at schools in both authorities and people who work across both authorities, so it just tends to make sense. So yes, I'll move that report. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Julie. Any question and comment? No? Approved. Move to Environment Services. Jim?
Nothing to report this time, Chair.
Thank you very much. Next one is Public Health and Wellbeing. Damien?
Thanks, Chair. Just a verbal update. Some people might have seen this, but today is the 146th anniversary of the opening of the museum and art gallery. So it's not the biggest anniversary. We're a few years off, 4 years off the 150th anniversary, but it's our wonderful museum. Obviously, sadly, people can't go in there at the moment, but if you're on social media and Facebook, there's lots and lots of blogs and stories about all the artifacts and things that we've got in the museum at the moment. So please have a look at those and keep kind of sharing them and sharing the message of our great museum. That was all I've got. Thanks this month, Chair.
Okay, thanks a lot, Damien. Next item is digital and customer services. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I've nothing to report. Just want to give a quick verbal update in terms of recognising the work of the IT department in this pandemic. The guys were challenged in order to make sure that we as a council functioned effectively and our residents were able to engage with us digitally. And they worked day and night, to make sure that we had services set up that functioned digitally, whether that was the health hub, whether it was people engaging with us through the registrar's service, or whether it was people who would lately trying to use our household waste recycling centres where the booking system has been sort of put up by them within a short space of time. So the guys have worked really hard and continue to deliver a fantastic service for our residents to engage and be able to sort of benefit from the service of the council. So I just wanted to recognise that, and that's all from me, Chair.
Thank you very much. I think I fully echo what Cassette said about the IT services. I think they've done a fantastic job, especially the registrar services. I think In the beginning, I think we were really concerned about it because they were saying there are going to be a number of deaths, etc., etc. But I think Environment Services, the way the grave digger, the way they prepare the number of graves, and I think the way our registration department work is fantastic. Never have any hiccup anywhere. People died in hospital maybe 9 in the morning, and funeral in Muslim community was taken 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So I think that is fantastic, outstanding performance from our registrar, and my sincere thanks to them. Thank you. Next item is growth and development master plan bank. Hey, Phil.
Thank you, Chair. So this is the as it says, it's the master plan for the Bank Hay area. The Bank Hay, this area of land it contains a number of pieces of land that are owned by individual private landowners, as well as a small piece that's owned by the council. And the purpose of the master plan is to pull those different sort of land ownerships together so that there can be one cohesive plan produced, rather than a number of sort of higgledy-piggledy plans, higgledy-piggledy developments, which may or may not sort of fit in together. So the purpose of this is to draw it together, is to sort of describe in fairly serious detail what what's intended, and I'll move the plan and obviously take any questions.
Anybody has any questions? Phil, I'll send you an email from Robert Brown, or probably Richard Brownie, impact of that development in Oakland and Foreigners Estate and other thing they were discussing about road, etc., etc. My own understanding is this is the development plan, and then I think the future planning application will come, and that's real issue for the planning people to make sure the people are going to be listened what their concern is. So at this stage, I think this is the only development plan.
That's correct. I mean, what the letter writer alluded to is that there is a proposal for a new short piece of road that will go from Boghite Road across to the new housing, and to exit on at the traffic lights at the top of Craven's Brow. It's obviously the intention behind that is partly to do something about the junction of Boghite Road and Bolton Road, which has been quite troublesome. And interestingly, I've received today a second letter from one of the residents on Boghite Road, who thinks this is one of the best decisions that the council has made in many years. So that kind of just shows that different people see things in different ways. But your point's absolutely right, Chair. This is a plan. It's the development. It will be, if and when this comes to fruition, there will obviously be a significant planning application, and a very, very significant, at that stage, consultation and opportunities for residents to have their say on all the contents of the planning application.
Thank you. Anybody else? Any question, comments on this report? No? Move the recommendation. All
Yes.
in favor?
Yeah.
Anybody against? Carried. Thank you, Phil.
Okay.
Item 8.5 is Finance and Government Corporate Revenue Budget Monitoring Report. Vicky?
Hello. Yeah, I'll move that report. It is the Q4 revenue monitoring report. It is generally made up of pre-COVID. There is some COVID impact in there, but very little. Just want to echo what Councillor Khan has said earlier and the rest of the officers around how hard all the teams have worked, but I need to point out finance in particular, because they have worked across 6 to 7 days a week to ensure that they've been able to support those businesses and residents with regards to business rates and council tax, and also the governance teams that work within this portfolio too, to enable meetings like this to actually go ahead in the way that they are doing. And with that, I remove this report.
Thank you, Vicky. Anybody has any questions? I think, Vicky, there is a pressure on the adult social care on external commission, and same thing apply with the children's services. I know that Mustafa and Saeed are doing a very good job to keep pressure down, but still, I think there was pressure of £623,000, which is off rated from the one or two of the grant, DFG grant. And I think we need to keep eye on adult social care and children's services, because demand will increase, and we have to come up with some kind of efficiency program, invest to save opportunity to make sure we are going to manage the budget. Same thing apply with the children's services. I think Julie will probably keep eye on it. Again, I think an increased level of demand, significant cost pressure building up, and as we can see, £3.6 million already overspent. But I think we need to make sure that we will keeping eye on all the budget, not only these two portfolio.
Yeah.
All the portfolio need to keep eye on it, because things will get very, very difficult unless the government will come up and they fulfill their promise, what they told us in the month of March. So I think my concern is that time will be very difficult, and I think every portfolio has to keep the eye on their budget to make sure they are going to have a balanced book end of the year. And I think adult social care and children's services are the one which are taking a lot of pressure. The pressure is coming from external commissioning, which sometimes is difficult, but I think we need to see how we can make the progress more effective program and invest to save program, how we can reduce the demand, etc., etc.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, thank you. You're completely right, and it's worth noting that every portfolio last year and in Q4 worked extremely hard, and we had significant underspends across all but children's services. And as you said, the demand is increasing. Poverty, unfortunately, is increasing, which then increases the demand to social care. So you're right. Every single portfolio we need to make sure is absolutely. We're looking at every single area. But yeah, thank you. That's it. Any further questions?
Thanks, Vicky. Any other question to Vicky? No? All in favor of that report? Thank you. Item 9.2, which is decision taken by the chief executive.
Chair, you've missed 9.1.
9.1.
Oh, sorry. 9.1, Phyllis, you disposal of land of Ellison Fall Way.
Yes, indeed. So some of you will remember Reese last couple of years. This is a piece of land that's been conventionally known as Bailey's Field in Darwin for many years. Landlocked piece of land. Most of it privately owned, some of it owned by the council. We built, with the help of the government money, we built a road across it. It's fair to say it wasn't without its critics. I think it was referred to as the road to nowhere by some of the opposition councillors. Anyway, now it's a road. It's going to be a road to somewhere, because there is the developer has bought. Well, we tendered the land, and as a developer has bought the land that we owned, and also a piece of the land that was owned by a private owner. So this decision here, this 9.1, is simply the decision to sell the land to a developer, with the view that down the line there will be planning application that will come in from them. So that's what that is, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Anybody has any question, comment on this report? All in favor of that recommendation? Thank you. Can I move to next item 9.2, which is decision taken under the emergency power in relation to the council initial response to the COVID-19 pandemic. I think under the power given to chief executive, I think she has to make 2 or 3 different decisions, scoring the emergency strategic food supply to through the Lancashire Resilience Forum, and also supplying the PPE, and again the food and other essential supply to the people on Blackburn and Darwin. I think these all decision was taken with consultant with the LRF, and also I think I was involved. Denise fully briefed me before she has taken these decision. These decisions were reported as every Friday decision, and I think this is just for the noting for all the executive member that that's what she has done under this emergency power. Anybody has any question, comments? No? So that report is noted. Yes?
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you. Next item is corporate plan progress report. I think this report is council performance for 6 months, 1st of October 2019 to 31st of March 2020. As you know, that since early of the March, I think whole things really disturbed within the council, and I think there are some issues which are highlighted in the report. And I think across the 8 variety, we have 4 indicators which are red, 12 are amber, and 30 are green. And I think under circumstances, I think everybody done a good job. And I think Appendix 1, Appendix 2 are fully reporting, giving all the report about the red indicators. I think we will bring the full report in July full council meeting to see what is the impact of from March till July. So you probably have more chance to look at your each portfolio and see how things are moving in the next couple of months. So anybody want to highlight anything in their own portfolio, you are most welcome. Otherwise, I move the report.
Second it.
So anything, anybody want to report from their portfolio?
Chair.
Yeah.
Hi. Just there's a couple of items that are in red from the finance and governance portfolio to just make note. One's on invoices, and the invoices are at 74% as of Q3, Q4, and there's a piece of work going on at the moment with the finance officers, because what we're finding is that the invoices are not going to the accounts payable department until it's reaching or almost reaching that 30 days. What we've actually done is we've increased the payment runs from twice a week to daily now, and the team's starting to work with those different cost centres across the council to make sure that they're fully supported and understand how important it is to raise those invoices to the right team straight away. So I'm hoping to see a big improvement on those invoice percentages. And the other one is with regards to long-term absence. It's worth noting it's just over 8 days pre-COVID. Without the COVID issue, it would have been just over 8 days. We actually achieved 9 from the target of 8. Which has been a year-on-year reduction across the council, and that's all there is from my portfolio. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. Anybody has any question, comment? Everybody happy with that corporate plan report? Thank you. Item 10 is matter referred to executive board. I have nothing referred yet. Item 10.1 petition disposal of open space and Old Gate Drive. Phil?
So this this is referring to a planning application where we gave outline permission for a small piece of land, council-owned land, a couple of months ago. Since then, this petition it refers refers to that particular development. It's been signed by around about 250 people. It's slightly odd in that sense that some of them, a couple of them live in North Carolina, some of them live in Canada, and lots of them certainly don't live in the borough of Blackburn with Darwen. So in truth, it is a little bit hard to know how many of these 260 people are actually impacted. Nonetheless, what's happened, Chair, is because we haven't yet had the planning application, and this petition refers to a specific point of what may or may not be part of the planning application, then we're going to note the petition, and it will obviously have its opportunity, or the people who are concerned will have their opportunity to bring up the matters when we finally have a detailed planning application, which we are expecting, I think, sometime towards the end of the year.
Thanks, Phil. Anybody have a question or comment to Phil on this item? No, petition is noted. Okay. This is the end of the first part of the meeting. I'll give you 5 minutes to have a break, and then we go on the item second part of the meeting. So you have to come out of this system and go on second part.
Thanks, Chair.
Am I right, Phil?
Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct, Chair. This is the end of the public part of the meeting, and part two meeting is just for the confidential item later on.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.